What's up, everyone? This is Ronnie coming to you tonight with the Reseller Pulse show. I'm without Chad, as Chad is in Texas. For y'all that know, he's at the Salina Festival today, um, down in Corpus Christi, I believe. So he'll be back next week. And I'm also without Pete, who's in the middle of his move. For you all don't know, he talked about it a few weeks ago that he sold his house, and he sold a lot quicker than he expected. So, and they had a quick close. So, not only running two businesses and everything, and having a family, having a household, got to get up and move everything. So, he's been a very busy boy. But with that being said, I picked out two little topics for me today to keep me on track and keep me going. See, I got this silly freaking hat on today that I picked up at a estate sale just before. Went to a estate sale and they had it at 6 o'clock, 6 to 8, and it was only on their website. It wasn't on the other statesale.net. Like, it didn't show the first day, so you had to pay $10 to get in. I went there. I had a bunch of different things on my mind when I went there. Kind of went there for gas and oil tin, earlys, like 1910, 1920 Standard Oil Company one. I wanted it, and I was probably the 10th person in line, second person in the basement. Lady picked up it before me, so I was like, So I got a little extra salty for a few minutes. So I was milling around, figuring I'll find something else. Went upstairs, and there was a bunch of cast iron pans. So I was like, all right, one of these has got to be Griswold. So I went through about 10 of them. Nothing. They were like large, and a lot of them were no-name ones, but they were just too pricey for me really to make any money. There was some DVD VHS recorder in the boxes. I thought they might have been new, but after checking them out, they've been used. They're in the boxes. Some of them didn't even have the remote, so I kind of skipped on those because of price. They had a lot of tin toys, but I just don't know nothing about no tin toys. Some of the prices were kind of high. It was really nice that they had the extra thing. You had to pay $10 to get in, but because there was only like 20 people in the house, and it was kind of cool. Met with a few people I've talked to here and there in the sales, got a little bit of extra time staying in line for 30 minutes. But, I'll show you what I got in a few minutes. But I'll shout out some people in the chat. I got Mrs. Deb, Pins and Pesos, Main Picker, On to Sell. How you doing, brother? Enjoy your videos. Bonafide Picker. Steve, he was first in here, I guess. But I picked up a few different things. I just the prices were kind of high on the first day. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. So this was something I picked up. This is a advertising slide. It's probably not worth much, but since it's from my town, it's kind of cool. It's from Hyannis, Massachusetts. It's with cleaner cutting saws or repurposing saws or something. I got that kind of for myself. And then speaking about Maine, I picked up this little bean crock. It says Portland, Maine on it. I have love Maine in that area. So that was pretty cool. I paid $10 for this. I paid $5 for the slide. Let me put this out of the way back on my shelf. And then I picked up this goofy contraption thingy over here. And this was a leather, see it here, like almost like a flight aviator type of hat. It's really in good condition. The leather is really, really nice. I mean, it has some wear to it, but I mean, it has like a nice wear to it. I paid $10 for this, and this is actually LL Bean. I didn't actually even notice that. I picked it up because of the style of the hat, and the tag is extremely, let's see if we can get it there. So you're at the LL Bean. It's an earlier tag. I really haven't checked into how early this is, but that was pretty cool. So I walked away with a few things. So you know, it was kind of fun. I went in there, at least I came out with some things. I mean, this hat probably, I don't know. I'm gonna guess $75 to $100 easily on this hat. The other two things are from myself, so this will pay for everything. Sometimes you just go to a sale and it's just not. There's nothing works out for you. I went there for a few different things, and like I said, I was, just behind somebody else that snagged up something that I wanted, and then other items just were not what you expect them possibly to be, because if those a stack about 8 cast iron pans, if they were all Griswold, I would have been good. I would have made some money, because that's the one of the things I know about. Just like if the VCR DVD recorders were new, there was some good money there. They were selling. There was 2 Magnavox ones and a Toshiba. The Toshiba was like $120 on Amazon. The other 2 Magnavox ones were actually selling it for about $400. I didn't check used price because I don't want to sell them used. I don't really want to mess with it. New, I would have jumped all over them. I had to even pay. But since we're at, well, no, we'll talk a little bit about estate sales. I love this time of year. Estate sales start to, they become a little bit more now. Now that I'm in the New England area, so estate sales start to become more relevant. There's like 9 on the Cape this weekend. There's probably 25 within an hour distance if I wanted to go up to Boston. And there's a lot of different ones. There was even one at what's the dude's name's house? Former governor's house. I mean, I didn't really with that. But whatever it may be, I'm not going to the former governor's house, even though he could be. Just didn't see anything. I bet they'd priced the crap out of stuff. But you'll be surprised. I mean, we've been to some actresses' estate sales and stuff like that. I mean, it's just, you don't know what to pick up. You don't know what to buy sometimes. It's just fun to go sometimes and visit the houses. So that's always fun and interesting. I just love going. And some tips for going: bring cash. You always want to bring cash with you to estate sales. A lot of times they'll take credit cards. They might even add on a 3% fee. There's a few, but there's few buyers. They'll accept credit cards if they take over 50 or they take over $75 or $100. So you don't want to put yourself in a position to where you have to spend that kind of money. You might not have all that tomorrow. So, always have cash. We actually have bags in the car, like these TJ Maxx, the recyclable bags, or IKEA bags, or another thing. If some people have those, they're always fun to bring because you can stack your stuff. It's kind of hard once you start filling your hands with stuff and you have nowhere to put it. And a lot of these sales, they'll have so many people there, they don't want to be bothered with watching what you're buying. Even sometimes putting sold stickers on things aren't going to affect you. I wanted a pair of shoes last year and some guy put a sold sticker on it, and the lady actually sold them to me because she said they've been sitting there 10 minutes. She goes, I don't know where he is. Maybe he doesn't pick them up. I'm selling them to you. I put them in my bag. That was it. And I was good because they were a pair of FootJoy alligator loafers, and I got $200 for them. I paid $20, so I was very happy. Just asking. I was like, "Is that red thing a sold?" She goes, "I don't even know whose it is. You want it?" drawers. She had it under my slip, and that was a estate sale where I found a lot of clothing. And believe it or not, I still have two pieces or two leather. No, I have one leather jacket from that sale that will just not sell. Some woman's territory a head jacket. It's been listed now about a year and a half. So hopefully it eventually sells over here. You know, yeah, Krillin 876. I'm solo today. Chad is in Corpus Christi at the Selena Festival, and Pete is moving and stuff like that. I think Pete's going to be busy for at least the rest of the month. But you know, I mean, and there's a lot of sales where they won't allow you to bring your bags in. So it's a double to negative. I've been to a sale before where they wouldn't allow me to take my bag, and I whipped the bag into the bush. I told the lady, I'll pick it up on the way out. I said, I'm not going back to my car and getting out of line. Like, another thing is if you see something you want, get there early. I mean, it's not uncommon, and I've known people that have been to a estate sale and literally will get there 3 hours ahead of time, 4 hours ahead of time. So you always want to be prepared for that kind of thing. It's one of those things that if you see something you want, you better understand. Like myself today, I wanted something. I was probably the 10th person in line. And from the people that I see, I didn't think I was going to have a problem getting what I want. But believe it or not, there was a lady that was before me that got it. And she was just picking up all these different tins, and I just wanted one of them. And I was going to bother her to see if I could buy it from her when we got out of the basement. And I don't know where she went. I lost her in the house. And this was not a big house. Had a big, large basement, had a garage, had 2 bedrooms only. But this house is like stock full of stuff. It's kind of like it's 1950 to 1970s, and it's nothing newer than that. But they had prices on things that just I wasn't too thrilled with. It doesn't leave a huge market, and I'm not the most knowledgeable person in antiques. But you always want to get there ahead of time. Getting there ahead of time, scoping it out sometimes, and depending on what part of the country you're in, there's people like down in Texas, Dallas, telling me they have estate sales that run like Wednesday to Sunday. That's crazy. And then as the days go off, there's going to be discounts. It might be, hey, third day, 25% off, the fourth day, 50% off. So if you go there and you have an idea maybe, or it's a good thing to even research stuff, you go there, check around, take pictures of stuff, put down model numbers in your phone, go home, research it, wait till it's 25, 50% off, and then go back and then check out what you got and, see what else is available there. So it's always more, it's always a different thing to go and do. Estate sales are cool. I love them. And I know other people don't. I'm not a big fan of being in tight spaces, though. Maybe because I'm a bigger guy. I don't like being in tight spaces where I can't move around very well, or there's too many people. Because you could be at these sales and people are freaking rude as hell. They're just not. People are just not. People are rude at estate sales. I don't know what it is, but they can get very edgy and rude. They feel like their shit don't stink. There's the people that cut people in front of line. I always think that's hilarious. Or they try to park their vehicle in some place they shouldn't be parking. They feel like they're, that's another thing. You got to park too. That's why I like to get there early. I park fairly close as I can. Because there's been estate sales where I've had to probably walk, a tenth of a mile, maybe even longer to get to maybe a quarter of a mile, because there was 100 people at that estate sale. And Most estate sales, people bring one car. It's one person in a car, two people in a car. Nobody's carpooling to an estate sale. So it's like, man, you gotta be crazy. Um, if there's any other things I can think about estate sales, just give me a question. I'll catch up on some of the questions right now. Then I'll kind of dip into a time management. But Heather had a question of how much before the sign posting do you need to show up for a estate sale? Usually, I mean, people show up. I mean, around us, it's maybe an hour. Um, it's not too bad. But I go to Boston, and you better be 2 or 3 hours early for a sign. And they have their sign up sheets. I've seen it where people ripped off the sign up sheets before and got in line. There's a lot of shady stuff that sometimes goes down at estate sales, like staying in line. Um, there's a lot of times my wife will be in line, and I'll literally go back to the car and sit. I have a bad back. I have two bad knees. Standing for a long period of time sometimes will affect my back, and it's kind of hard. I can't stand there for 2 hours, or I'll have some, and then I have to go up and down stairs, maybe, or carry a few things. My back's like, oh no, no, you did not do that to me. But usually within a few hours. I've known there's people that have staked out estate sales like 12 hours ahead of time, showing up at you know 12 o'clock midnight to get something into a sale that opened maybe at 8 o'clock. You know, my boy Mark did that up north of Boston for a stereo system. So I mean, it's kind of crazy. It just all depends on really what area of the country you're living and what it's all about. Um, Krill and Ash, Ronnie, are you closer to Providence or Boston? Is Providence a big money town? I'm probably halfway between both. Yeah, I'm about an hour from Boston, hour from Providence. It's kind of the same. Um, and then if actually in Providence, it only takes you about 40 minutes to go to Boston because they're actually closer. Because where I am, I have to kind of drive a little bit out of the way to get to both of them. But I mean, Providence has money because you got to remember, there's no all the thrift stores really are located in Providence is a very small state in the country. Yeah, small state in the country. I mean, literally, when you drive to Providence, it takes you 45 minutes maybe, and you drive to Rhode Island 45 minutes. If I'm going to New York City, it might be even shorter than that. It's really, I'll say 45 minutes. You can get through that state fairly quickly. So your thrift stores and stuff like that are very concentrated to a certain area, and then you have wealthier areas like Newport, which just have money. But a lot of this thrift stores are in Providence or right around Providence or in Southeast Massachusetts. So their stores tend to be fairly good. So I mean, it's just you go there. I go everywhere. I mean, it's what I do. I enjoy going to different places all the time. I go up to Maine. I have never been to Vermont yet, and I would love to, like yard sale around Vermont or New Hampshire or even probably northern Maine. I'd love to take a week or so and just kick around and maybe even do some door knocking and stuff like that. You know. Krillin, would you travel to Fairfield County? Is that too far? I know there is I don't know, where's Fairfield County? Is that like Connecticut? I should Google. If I think Fairfield County, ain't that like Stanford area, in that area? If that's the area, I mean, we've been there, we've stayed there for the weekend, and we actually did really well, going to some estate sales and yard sales in that area. It was last fall, probably right around this time we went there, and we actually did fairly well hitting around some yard sales. Got a lot of good stuff cheap, a lot of good quality stuff. I mean, one guy, he had a friend that worked for Burberry, and we got a lot of like Burberry shirts. Everything was $5. You want a Burberry tie, $5. Burberry shirt, $5. Burberry blazer, $5. It was really weird. But a lot of the stuff he had was custom made, so it was actually pretty cool. Stuff that you didn't see um, too often. I guess he worked or he was a salesman for Burberry's or something at one time. But a lot of it was more recent stuff. It was actually really good stuff. And there was another sale with a lady who had a dry cleaner or something, and we just picked up like a bunch of Brooks Brothers slim fit non iron shirts for $2, and a bunch of men's Brooks Brothers slacks for like $2 or $3. Bunch of suit jackets. One was a purple label Ralph Lauren. They were like $5, $5 for a barber sweater. So it was cool. I mean, there's definitely money there. It's no different. There's certain pockets of in the USA where there's money. That's one of those places. That's probably one of the top 5 places. I mean, run around there, parts of Boston. There's neighborhoods probably 10 miles from us where the average home is $800,000 for the average home in the whole town. I mean, I couldn't afford a shed on a piece of property 20 by 20 in that town over in parts of like Osterville and Cotuit and stuff like that. But hey, it is what it is. How do I feel about churchyard sales? I don't know. I go to a few here and there. Usually they're cheap, but most of the time it's not really worth me going to. They get too crowded. Churchyards. We've been to 2 already this year and didn't really find nothing at either one. We were there pretty close to the start. It just all depends. You have some wealthy parishioners that go to the church. You might luck out and do actually well. But we'll get into the second part of that topic for tonight. Would have been time management. I really enjoy how I manage my time. It's something that keeps me focused. And normal day for me is almost one of the first things I do since we're back at home now. Everything's here at the house, other than some heavier jackets that I have stored in the storage shed. So, uh, so most of the time, this time of year, I'm not selling too many jackets. So I don't go there too often. It's very close to the house. It's very close to where the warehouse used to be. So I'm there in probably 3 minutes, 4 minutes by the time I get through the gate and everything like that. So we'll call it 10 minutes round trip. No big deal. Um, but most of our stuff is at the house. So I'll ship stuff as we sell it. If I'm just sitting here doing nothing, watching TV at nighttime, and I have 5 things to ship, I'll do it right then and there. That way, in the morning, if I sold 2 things, I'll ship them and get them, and then we have a little area where we can have our packages. Our mailman picks them up. We're good to go. Um, but shipping is fairly easy. If you ever seen our videos, everything is kind of all our suit jackets get boxed up and they get inventoried in numbers. So it's a lot of it's already done. All our shirts are bagged up and ready to go and kept in bins by names. So when we sell something, it's kind of just like slide it in an envelope and go. I have under my table here, I have all kinds of different boxes and envelopes. Over here, I have some envelopes. I have my scale right here, my printer right behind me, or right in front of me. So, it's everything's right here I need. I got my scissors, my tape, and I just do what I got to do. So it's no big deal. Thing is, where I see my biggest time management is I have my wife helping me with this. She's a big help, and she really deals with two things that I struggle at doing well: photographs and inventory, and kind of making sure everything is where it should be. I would be one of those guys without my wife that sold a shirt and I'm looking for it for 3 hours because I just, we kind of set up something together. This is how we're going to do it. But she comes up, I'll come up with the idea maybe, but she comes up with how we're going to store it, how everything's going to be. So it's easy to get to. You know, Rainbow and puppies. I'm hoping one of these days, hoping she's been on a few, she's been in, I think, on one or two videos in the past. Just doesn't, the problem is her novella, her soap opera show is on 9 o'clock. So it's kind of hard to motivate her to come on here. I was thinking about it today, but she's been doing housework all day. She just finished laundry and she's um just not happy, not having it today. But she's been doing a lot of college too. She was at doing a few different classes, going to college at least 4 days a week. So she's kind of calmed down on that now, and she graduates her one class in, or I mean, it ends in June, somewhere in June. So she'll be done with that hopefully, and we can get, maybe I can get her into some of the videos and stuff like that. Um, you know, it should be fun. I think she would enjoy it. I think it's just trying to incorporate her. I know when I first started doing videos, it took me a while before you actually seen who was making the videos. I did a lot of screen shares and stuff like that, where I didn't want to be on camera. It just takes a different. Some people want to be on it, some people don't. Um, so hopefully we can get her on here eventually. But back to time management. I mean, when we get a lot of clothing in, clothing is our niche, what we deal with. We have a table, we have totes everywhere. We have a few different totes. We have totes actually in the cars. So as we get stuff, we put them in the totes so it's easier to carry in a tote into the house. And then everything kind of stays in the tote. I kind of separate it. If I'm going to send stuff in Amazon, I actually have a large tote here that I'll put the Amazon stuff into. I get enough stuff to send a box in, and then I'll send the box in, and then the rest of the stuff goes in one of the totes, usually in the room. And my wife usually photographs that stuff within a day or two. It usually does not sit too often. I mean, I got a few things today. Maybe we'll go out tomorrow. I'm not really sure. I didn't really see anything that was catching my eye, and there's not really enough state sales yet, or yard sales even for that matter. It was been in the 50s for the most part up this way for a while now. It started to warm back up, thank God. It's going to be in the 60s. I feel like summer when the 60s come. I'm a shorts and t-shirt guy. I'll wear shorts and t-shirt till there's snow on the ground. Once there's snow on the ground, the shorts got to go away, or at least the shorts anyway. Legs don't like the cold that much. But what was I gonna say? There's just not a lot going out. But anyway, I'm getting off traffic again. I got to reel myself back in. So we'll get our stuff. We know it has to be photographed. My wife will break up the clothing, and she breaks it up into like casual shirts, dress shirts, sport jackets, and stuff like that. So when she's taking pictures, she kind of knows, going through the repetition and taking those pictures. She's taking pictures of all that stuff repeatedly, and it's pretty good. She can actually go through it pretty quickly. It's not like you go into a shirt, into a suit, and then let me take a picture of a tie, yada yada yada. It's kind of just getting in there and getting all that done. So she'll take pictures, and I recommend taking all the pictures in one day. I know people that they'll take a picture of like two things, put the pictures on their computer, and then they write the listings up for those two things, and they go back and take two pictures. I don't see how that works to your benefit whatsoever. I'd rather just take all the pictures in one day, bang it out. It's how I used to do it before before I usually had my wife help with the business. I used to do everything. She would always ask me, and you're stubborn. No, no, I got this. I got this. I got this. But you know, so then you get into the listing part. So my wife will give me I'll have all the stuff over here. We have a little like bar area, and this stuff will sit there, and I have usually a tote or so on the floor with the stuff that I need to take pictures of, or I mean, list. And usually I like to just tone everything out. I'll listen to either a few different podcasts. I'll wait a week to where it's like I'll listen to Scavenger Life, or I'll listen to oh, what's the other cats? The Crazy Pick of Life there. Um, and it's very easy, very calming, very relaxing. I don't have to watch. I don't have to visualize something. I can just listen to something. I put my headphones in, and I can kind of just start doing the listings. So if I'm working on all men's dress shirts, it's very easy for me just to just go right through the dress shirts and list them repeatedly right after each other. I have I just go to a shirt that I already sold or I have currently listed and just sell similar and finish, sell similar, finish, sell similar. So I'm just changing words around. I don't do templates or anything like that. I've never had it. And I try to keep it nice and clean, nice and easy. Um, all your stuff is kind of right there and easy to. I mean, your return policy is there. You just press on the button. They know what your return policy is. It's crazy when they have these big, crazy return things. It's like it will not be returned if this, that. It will be this fee. It is like, huh? I mean, your biggest thing is, with a lot of the sales being on mobile now, you wanna make sure how your stuff looks like on your phone. I mean, this is the key now. I mean, sales are going that way, and I think eBay tells me every month it's like 30, 35 sales whenever I get the newsletter thing. Well, whenever it comes, it'll come 2 months in a row, and then I won't see it for 4 months. It's kind of crazy, but I like to keep things short and sweet. I add a lot of pictures though. If it's a shirt, there's 4 or 5 pictures. Front, back, close up of the pattern, maybe close up of the tag. If there's any flaws, you really want to notice that kind of stuff. And what's up, Mr. Dallas Moore? How you doing, brother? But it's kind of like I try to do things that I can get through this quickly and easy. I already have an idea. Okay, that shirt's gonna weigh a pound. That's it. I just do it as a pound. I charge a flat rate for shipping, so I don't have to do anything with that. So when I'm just going through the listings, I'm just going, I make mistakes here and there. We all do. But I can get shirts up probably if I got the pictures all done and I'm really in the groove. I can do probably 6, 8 minutes if the picture are all done, going from listing to listing to listing. I've sat down before and, a 6, 7, 8 hour day, I've done 70 items. It doesn't happen too much because I've learned that I get too, of late, for whatever reason, the last few months since moving home, I get too sidetracked. When I was at the warehouse, I didn't have nothing to sidetrack me. It was work. Here, let me get up. Let me get myself something to drink. Let me get myself something to eat. Oh, my wife's in the other room. Let me talk to my wife for a few minutes. And the next thing I know a half hour. Or I start chatting with, somebody like Chad or something. It's like I lose track of time. So I am not the best when it comes to sometimes scheduling my work. But when my wife's working her show, watching her shows at nighttime, I can kind of list things too, and I don't always have to list everything because we have kind of slowed down on our buying a little bit. I'm kind of becoming a lot more pickier with what I buy, looking for the higher profit stuff, better things, I mean, that changes with yard sales, of course, because there's so many different things you can pick up for $1 and sell for 15, $20, and it's hard to turn that down. It really is. But hey, drink of water. And then after I finish that, I bag everything up. I get it I put it usually away, or my wife puts it away, and then we split up our time. I usually go sourcing once a week. Maybe I'll make a big trip sourcing somewhere, hit up 8, 10 stores in a week, maybe every 2 weeks. Just depends on what I find. And then other times, like last night, I was bored. So I drove about 45 miles away. I hit about 4 thrift stores. Um, I did okay. I found some cool things, but two of the stores were savers. I don't know if they had a sale or something earlier this week, but there was nothing in those stores. Those stores were picked over really well. So it kind of discouraged me. I really did well at one store, and then the other stores, I kind of do. I wasn't really doing that great. I was like, kind of, what's going on here? But it's no big deal. Um, it's hit or miss with every store, really, with what you're looking for. Um, I try to set up at least 1 or 2 days to list, and then, but it's different because I'm at home now. I can list, like, if I'm waiting for my wife. Let's say tomorrow morning I decide to go out, I can list probably 3 or 4 things while I'm ready and I'm waiting for her. So as long as I got the stuff, I can list the stuff. It's really not, it just depends on the times that you have and what benefits you. And if, like, full time, it's kind of, I can make it anytime I want to. I don't have any kids. I don't have, anything other than my wife really to worry about for time and stuff like that. So I kind of do. I don't do when I buy the things. Actually, that's when I do the research on what I think I should get for something too, or I already have in my mind. When I buy something, a lot of the time, I already have an idea of what I can ask for that product. Um, but then again, state sales, yard sales, those kind of things, they are a little different. You just never know uh, what you're gonna get when you go out. So it's just come across a lot of things that you never knew. This time of year, I have a work point subscription, and I share it with somebody, and it's very easy. I mean, it's not really that much money for me. You know. Um, what else? Um, you know, it's just finding time. Like, a lot of people, they go out all day. That's it. Find the stuff to bring home. Maybe another day, take all the pictures, and then try to list your stuff over a few different days the best you can. Um, I think the one biggest thing is, once we get situated and we move or get a house somewhere and get a space to where we can work out of, I would love to hire an employer to bless you, so we can actually hire an employee. For the one thing I hate doing is listing. I don't mind listing, but it gets tedious listing clothing. Let me tell you, it gets boring. Um, let me see here. We got question, Ronnie. Women's clothing, designer clothing. Do the larger sizes do well? Like a house men's blazer 50 sells for double than a 42 regular. Mm, I have not really found too much women's cheaper clothing that sells well, the larger size stuff. If I ever get the larger, like Ralph Lauren stuff by or Ralph Lauren, that kind of stuff, it usually sells really well for women's. Really, the no name stuff. I mean, I have some Talbot brand new with tag stuff, and it's big stuff like 2X and so on and so forth, and it's not moving. It's not moving, and it's like 20% of retail. I have it marked at, and it's still not moving. So it just depends, I guess, on what it is. But I've never really had too much luck. Women's stuff, I kind of stay with uh, really higher end designer stuff, where I just feel that I don't know enough about it. I know about the higher end stuff. I don't know about the middle to lower end stuff. Did you ever think of making a deal with one of the workers to put aside good stuff for you and give them some money for their effort? That would be very interesting. I've had people in the past at the thrift stores let me know when I come in there, hey, we just put this out a little while ago. Or I used to have someone text me. The problem is the turnover at the damn thrift stores are so heavy that it's so heavy that they nobody stays there long enough to even try to. And two of the thrift stores in our town, I'm in them almost daily. Um, I'll go to them almost every day. I kind of know when they're putting stuff out, when they don't. So you get an idea of what times their schedules are. Our Goodwill puts stuff out all day long. And the Salvation Army is kind of more later in the day, especially that they change stores. They wait till they get their truck. Their truck doesn't come into late morning, early afternoon. So really, stuff's not on the floor to the afternoon, late afternoon even. So a lot of time I don't even go to that, and they're so short on help. They're supposedly putting out like 2,000 new items every day onto the floor. They're not even getting out a quarter of that. So it's hit or miss. I go there. Just you never know what you're gonna find. I went there today and found a few Orvis shirts, and I found some champion jerseys, and I found something else. I don't remember. It wasn't that important. All marginal money makers, but they're bread and butter stuff. It's going to turn my business. It's going to make me some money. But you know, Krillin-esque. He found a Kate Spade jacket at a TJ Maxx runway store for 120. Markup was $700. Guessing, what do I think of it? I don't know. Check the sold listings. It's the best way to get an idea of what similar ones sell for. It's a lot of clothing in general new to eBay prices. It depends on the brand. Like a lot of like Purple Label, Ralph Lauren Purple Label or Black Label stuff, there's a huge markup for it. Even newer tags though, you can't get 20 to 25% of the full value of it. It's kind of really weird how that goes. And then other brands, maybe like a Vineyard Vines or Southern Tide or more it seems like hotter brands are just selling like crazy and will sell for a higher profit of there. I've sold new ones for $75 and they have a $90 price tag on it. So it all just goes by but I've kind of come to a head here on my questions. I mean, on my topic. If there's any other questions, anybody got a question? Otherwise, I'm just gonna go into psychobabble mode. But what is everybody's plan for the weekend? I know that the weather's just not that great here yet, so I'm kind of hesitant on what we're gonna do. Might go out tomorrow, might not sure. Actually, you know what? I got something over here I can show you guys that we picked up the other day that I think is actually pretty cool. I was at a thrift store the other day, and I've come across. Why did my camera do that? Okay, there we go. I came across these baseball shoes. These are cleats These are like promo factory cleats from early 2000s. And these were specifically made for players, as they got the player number in the back and everything like that. Baseball cleats. This pair actually here was made for Willie Mopena, which I'm not really sure how this time he played for the Red Sox that year, from what I looked it up. I paid $6 for these, so I couldn't lose any money. I mean, I figured if anything, make some money. And then these belong to a catcher. A little different colorway. I didn't really check out him too much. He journeyman catcher for a while. Chris Snyder. But, you know. And the final guy is probably the most known player, is Barry Zito. And these were, his shoes were actually pretty cool. And they actually even say, like on there, I don't know if you can see that, Zito. He was good with Oakland, which this is that colorway from that time. I think it was 2006. But when he went to San Francisco, he tanked out pretty well. He tanked out very well. He was not a good player over there, playing for San Francisco. But you know, I thought those were pretty cool. Yeah, I did see Willie Moe. Hey, we sold something. You always like that too. But I did see Willie Moe did play. He was a Yankee prospect, so I was very high on him when he was but he got traded, I think, to Cincinnati, and then he played for the Red Sox and a bunch of other players. And then Snyder, I was not too sure about. They had a few other players, but like one guy only played 31 at-bats in the major league. I actually looked it up, and I was like, no, I'm going to pass on that guy. And there was some other guy that never even played Major League Baseball, which was actually weird because these were Reebok shoes or cleats, and they actually moved into the Salvation Army. I got these. I actually moved into the old Reebok factory store. I kind of wonder if these were in the back of the store or something, or was that just a weird coincidence? Yeah, Willie Moe was a Dominican guy too, so. But those were pretty cool. I'm not really sure of the value of those. The Barry Zito ones probably would do a lot better than the other two. But just need to find a team player or somebody that collects that player, and they'll want them because there's not really too many out there. You know, the Barry Zito ones probably are going to do the best. I'm really not even sure what I'm going to ask for them. I got to kind of mill around a little bit for those on WorthPoint and kind of see, because I can get more data. If you have a WorthPoint's only $20 a month, and I love it. You can go back like a few years and check up eBay completed on certain items. You have to be kind of pretty specific. It doesn't pull everything up, but it gives you a lot better idea of some things. Like, was it last week I had that model Land Rover, and I couldn't find any on eBay. Couldn't find any kind of even through searches at all. And then when I went to WorthPoint, it's like 12 of them popped up, and it was like, oh, that's what they sold for. And it goes back to like 2001 or something like that. But it gives you that idea of things, and, you know, always good. I like that. Maybe they should pay me some money and I'll promote their service. Kenny John, do you think casual shirt prices will ever rebound? Casual shirts are a very interesting. It depends on the brand, I think. And I think a lot of the ones that have tanked, the Seven Diamonds, the English Laundry, Ugachi Umo, those style like flip cuffs, loud, color shirts, how all kind of took a dive. And I think it's that even a lot of the Robert Grahams, unless you have like something that is like really a great design, a lot of them have kind of dipped down in value. And I think it's just a combination of there's a lot out there. And a lot of it has to do with where you could find them nowadays too. I mean, I can walk into a Marshalls and you could find almost Robert Graham shirts for $60 new at some of the Marshalls around or TJ Maxx's around us. And it's kind of hard to try to sell that shirt used for that kind of money if they're selling it for new, you know, catch them on clearance. Bugatti Umo shirts a few years ago, I picked up a whole bunch of them for $5 new with tags at an Ocean State job lot, which was like it's like a Big Lots, that kind of store. They're up in this area. I'm not sure if they're a regional, but I know they're in the New England area. Ocean State job lot. So just depends on the shirts, you know. I think that kind of style is played in a little bit, but it could be because it got killed off too. I mean, it's oversaturation. Look at the Hawaiian shirt market. That Hawaiian shirt market's tanked big time with everything from Tommy Bahama to Ryan Spooner, unless you got something that's really nice. And trust me, I still sell Tommy Bahama shirts, but you got to be really picky and choosy what you pick up. You can't pick up a beige one and think you're going to get $40 for it, you know, or unless it's maybe a 3X, 4X. It's got to be the uniquer designs or the embroidered ones that really do the better. So always keep that in mind. Mi amor. Somebody's at the door. I gotta go. See you later.